Welcome everybody to today's session, and this session will cover Veeam Backup for 365. Why is it important to protect Microsoft 365 and how Veeam gives you full control of your own data. Like I mentioned, we're going to cover the product from Veeam called Veeam Backup for Microsoft 365. And why, one of the most important things is, why do you need to back up Microsoft 365? Six main reasons for this. One is that people need to remember when you start using 365, it has different services. You've got your mail service, you've got your archiving, you've got your Microsoft Teams, you've got your SharePoint, you've got your OneDrive for business. So it's important that you realize there's different services to protect, and each of these are running individually, and it's important that you'll have different protection for like accidental deletions, and there's a retention policy confusion gaps because there will be different retentions from Microsoft for these different policies. Also, very important to protect your internal security threats. You've got protection that you need to protect for external security threats like ransomware. And a very important thing is dependent on the company's overall compliance requirements, legal requirements. You have to have maybe a copy on-prem of your data, or you have to have it in a different cloud, dependent of the company's legal and compliance requirements. Also important, a lot of companies are running a hybrid environment where you're running SharePoint maybe online, you're running it on-prem, and you have your own changes you're making you can't do online. It's also important to protect both of these environments, and this is also one of the reasons to protect it. What's important is to understand shared responsibility. Is that a lot of customers think it is Microsoft's responsibility because you're running stuff in the cloud, that it is Microsoft's responsibility for the data protection, and the answer is definitely not. Very important to understand, why do I need to back up? Microsoft takes care of everything. This is a lot of the perception of a lot of customers that Microsoft, like I said, takes care of everything. Is that Microsoft is responsible for the uptime of the 365 service, and it's still your data. You need to protect it. So think about it, when you had SharePoint or a mail on-prem, you still had to protect it. It does not change when you're running in the cloud. You're still responsible for that. Another thing is Microsoft makes it very clear that it's your data, you own it, you control it. What happens? You are creating users, you're removing users, and at the end of the day, it's your responsibility, not Microsoft. They're just providing, like I said, the services. To make it very clear that point-in-time restoration of mailbox items is out of scope for the Exchange online services. So if you want to recover one mail, one calendar, and this is very important that they also mention this, that you need to protect your data. Here's a good example of what happened a few months ago with KPMG, that they lost all their history on their Microsoft Teams. And you can see here it says Microsoft has confirmed the Teams chat data is not recoverable. So just to highlight, don't put yourself in a situation where you don't have data protection and just do it after something goes wrong. Be prepared for it and make itself simple for you. Another thing that you need to, so what exactly does Microsoft provide? So Microsoft provides the following. They have different, as a standard, different retentions, like I said, for mail, for SharePoint, for OneDrive, and it's important to understand this. Now, even if they have protection when you move and they have retention, it's not backup. Okay, so it's very important to understand it. And the question is, how do I get the data with very simple, very easily? I can just click and get it back. When it's in these different stages, there's a process and it takes time and it's not easy to recover. And this is where Veeam also comes into play. It's simple, it gives you full management of the system. So that is very important at the end of the day. You can see here, it can be confusing thinking just about these different stages of deletion, when it gets permanently deleted. And what about, how do I get, it's just not just, how can I search for something that is maybe in a second stage, like e-discovery of the main things, if it's in the second stage, can be a challenge. Okay, what does Veeam offer you? So what Veeam offers you is full management of your retention policies. So you can decide, mail, I want to protect it. And it's not just on mail, it can be groups of people, you can have different retentions, can have different retentions, how often you back up, what the retention of different services are. So what at the end of the day is important, that with Veeam you have full management and control of protecting all your 365 services. Also importantly is that we also do Microsoft Teams also gets protected by the product, and that's also very important to understand. Another thing that you need to understand is we have a lot of ways to recover the data. There is 25 ways to recover the data. You can see that highlights this product is very simple. We've got the Explorers for Exchange, we've got the Explorer for SharePoint, and the OneDrive for Business. And in our next release, that's going to be released in the next quarter, it will also have a specific Explorer for Teams itself to make it even more easier. And what you can see that stands out of the product, it doesn't just protect online exchange, but also on-prem. The same with SharePoint Online and also SharePoint on-prem. And you can see, of course, I can do the whole mailbox. I can do very specific stuff like if I want to recover only one mail item or calendar item. If I want to export or do a search on everything and say, I want to see emails from person 1 to person 2 in this period of time, I can export it into a PST if I want to. Very simple, very easy. We do global search on all of our explorers. It makes it easy for you to find specific stuff if you're looking for it. And even if it was removed, it will look at all the different retentions and give you that information. So it's about giving you, again, easy recoverability. It doesn't need to do different phases or process. You search what you want and you recover. And how you want to recover it, you can recover it to different, like I said, different mailboxes if you want to. If you want to recover it to OneDrive for Business to another location. And these explorers looks exactly like it is for that specific service that you are running. Now, just to highlight some key features of the product, it's very simple to install implementation. So even if you run it on-prem or you want to install, it just needs Windows. It takes about, the size of the product is about 40 megs and it takes about 5 minutes. Also importantly is that the manageability is very easy. It's got a console that you can use. Of course, if you want to run it through PowerShell or RESTful APIs, we give that for you. It's very simple. VM Explorers we have for Exchange, SharePoint, OneDrive, and Teams. Like I said, looks uniquely to each service, and you can recover it very simple. Where can you run this product? Wherever you want. At the end of the day, you just need a Windows operating system, and you can install it. So you can run it on-prem, you can run it on virtual, you can run it on physical, and you can even run it in any cloud environment. And if you use, example, Microsoft Azure, or you're using AWS, the templates are already there. and you can just select it, fill in, go through the wizard, and it will be installed automatically for you. So again, very easy. You can host it wherever. You control where you're hosting it, and it's very cost effective. It uses also, if you want to, you can use block storage for where you store the data, or you can use object storage. That means any S3 compatible object storage, Amazon S3, Azure Blob, IBM Cloud, and every now and again when we do updates on the product, we're adding more service providers for you for object storage. The things that are very highlighted, this product is not just for 365, but also on-prem, and gives you the capability to recover vice versa. This is very important. It's again hosted anywhere, backup anywhere, recovery anywhere. It makes it very simple, very easy for you as a customer. Thank you very much for today, and for attending today's session. Please don't contact us if you need any technical details, or the sales team if you want to look at pricing. Thank you very much and have a great day. Bye bye.